Hey guys, Josh here from PM Student. In this video, I want to encourage you to own your project management career. This is a question that I get quite often via email and via comments on my blogs and things like that, where someone basically says, here's what I'm doing. Am I doing the right things? Um, and basically, I can't answer that question. Um, in my blogs and when I talk to people and in the training that I've done for career coaching, I essentially say that that there's a couple fundamental things that you need to start with before you start talking about am I doing the right things, just like in planning and managing a project. So, for instance, where's your starting point? Are you starting with any experience at this point or not? What's your educational background, certifications, those types of things all play into it. What industry are you in currently, and those types of other environmental things that are going to make an impact. And then from there, you can move on to what should your goals be. So where do you want to be in 10 years, essentially? Start with that and then work your way back and say, what do I need to do? Where do I need to be 5 years from now in order to make that 10-year goal? What do I need to do 3 years from now to make that 5-year goal, and et cetera, et cetera, until you get to the point where you're thinking, what do I need to go do today, this week, this month, in order to start working towards that year goal that I've got set for myself? So just like in managing and executing a project, you need to do the same thing with your project management career. So, and in if you take one of my training courses, my students know that in there I've got worksheets so that you can essentially go through and put down what is your starting point. Make it explicit, write it down, and whether you do my course or not, make sure that you're doing that, that you're writing these things down, your goals for where you want to be. Make sure that you have it written down somewhere, even if it's electronically on the computer, so that you know what you're progressing towards. And then from there, you can start to understand what do I need to do to get to those goals. And then you can start talking about some of the tools and techniques that go along with job hunting and researching organizations, things like that. So there's a skill set to researching organizations for project management and finding the ones who, depending on your goals again, if you want to be part of an organization who values project management as a discipline, and there are certain ways that you can tell by researching organizations that they do take project management seriously. And maybe your goal is to work for a small startup company or a nonprofit, however, and you're not really going to be expecting them to know a lot about project management. Maybe you want to be the one who brings in project management as a discipline. So all this depends on what your goals are. And then, obviously the tools and techniques for, just networking with people, and when you get down to the point of applying for a position, what are the things that you need to be aware of in terms of putting a portfolio together, your resume, cover letter, examples of your work, those types of things. The actual interview, what kind of questions are you going to get asked? What should you be prepared for? How do you actually conduct the interview? Those types of things. So there's a lot to cover there, and that's one of the reasons why I created a course for it. But regardless, in this video, what I want to get across is that you should own that whole process. It's you. You are your best advocate when it comes to your career. So whatever you do, make sure that you understand that it's up to you. Thanks, everyone.